about some of the stuff going on with you. You were talking about an interesting songwriting
Yeah.
thing going
So
on.
we're calling it the history contest because one of the guys on my team that I work with, there's been bands in other genres in the past that they've done like these contests where the winner gets to basically tell the band what they want them to write a song about. And someone on my team was like the one day like, I was actually Googling it the other day, and country music, we always talk about, I might be kind of cliche, but we really do feel like we have the best fans with country music because they live that same lifestyle that we live, and there's just that really cool connection. And it seems that apparently not many country artists have ever done something like that. So we're calling it the history contest because we're thinking that we're the first team in a while that's done something like this in country music. So what it is that if you follow all my socials, Judah Wardrope Music, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, then you'll get entered, and you got to tag me also on one of your stories. If you do that, then you're going to be entered into this contest, and at the end of the tour in September, we're going to do a draw, and the winner of the draw we're going to get in contact with them, and we're going to set up some kind of a call or something, and they're basically going to tell me some kind of story from their life, whether it's a breakup, whether it's falling in love, the small town you grew up in, whatever it is. You're going to get to tell me you want me to write a song about, and then I'm going to get together with some of my co-writers that I work with, and we're going to write a song about whatever you want us to write about, and we're going to take it into the studio and record it at some point. So
That's super exciting. I don't think I've ever heard of anything like that before.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I guess with that, I mean, just following up here because I'm curious.
Yeah.
How does it kind of affect you think your creative process? Drawing inspiration from someone else's stories is kind of
Yeah.
the ability to kind of just connect with other people.
Yeah, so that's something I've actually been thinking about too since we started talking about this idea and recently come in public with it. I mean, for me, like the whole reason of this, as an artist is you want to connect with people. For myself, anyways, that's the whole point. I write songs to, not just work through things I go through personally, but to try and connect with people. And so the whole point of this, the root of this idea for this contest is we want to connect. I want to connect with, the fans more personally on a deeper level. And it's like, I know for me, I remember when I was a kid growing up in Carlisle, I connected so deeply with other artists' songs. Like, even though it was about something they had been through, I could make it feel like it's something I've been through too. Because it's like, using the breakup as an example, it's like their breakup might have been a bit different than mine, but I've been through that too. So it's like I would listen to that song. It would really help me just because I connect with it. So our whole thought process is like, let's have someone tell us their story about their life, and let's make that into a song. And it'll be interesting because honestly, like I've never done that before. So when the time does come to do the draw in September, like I'm just gonna, whoever ends up winning, like I'm just gonna want to chat with them and get to know them a bit and just hear what their heart is behind whatever story it is they want to tell me. And I'm just basically gonna try to step into their shoes and just try to really imagine what it would be like to be in whatever it is, whether it's happy or sad, like whatever it is they want us to write about. We're gonna talk about it as a writing team, and we're just gonna really try to imagine what it's like to be in that person's shoes and come up with the best possible song we can. So
Yeah, and this would be a song that would be released as any of your other.
yeah, that's the whole plan. The plan is that when we will do the draw at the end of September, I'll chat, and depending on if the person's local or if they're further away, we'll get on a call. And yeah, the whole plan is to go in with the writing team, and we don't have a specific timeline for it just because my schedule's getting so hectically crazy over the last little bit. We don't know for sure when we'll get it out, but the plan is to take it in with the team, write the best song we can, and then at some point take it into the studio and release it like any other song I would put out. So
It's really exciting. Of
Yeah.
course, want to encourage people to get out there because that sounds like something that I look forward to seeing how that comes to fruition.
yeah, myself included, I'm looking forward to it too.
Absolutely. Is there anything else kind of exciting coming up that you'd want to share about?
Yeah, so we've got some new music in the works, and we've actually also got a recreated version of an old song in the works as well. So I don't have any dates yet that I can give out just because we're finishing up a few things, but I can say that sooner than later, I'm not gonna say which one, I'm gonna keep it a surprise, but I've been really thankful and honestly just really blessed to have my first 3 songs I've ever put out all get picked up and been getting, radio play across Canada and in the States now too. And we're going to be taking one of those 3 songs, and I've recently gotten hooked up with a award-winning DJ. His name's DJ Diggs. He's out in the Vancouver area, and we're going to be doing a little country kind of club kind of remix of one of the original songs that are already out. So stay tuned for that. And then we're going to be releasing a new single. It's going to be, I'm actually really excited for it. It's, you know, If I Die Tomorrow, for myself as a new artist, you know, I was so thankful that If I Die Tomorrow has really, especially out of the three, been doing so well and still is doing really well with streaming and radio play. And this new song, it's going to be new. It's going to be lyrically, it's going to fit in with more on your radio. It's kind of that kind of a topic. But the sound is going to be fun because it's going to be, I'm always wanting to do new things as an artist. I don't want to be the artist that ever stays in the same box, but I do think it is important to still stick to your vibe so that you don't completely abandon yourself. And for anyone who enjoyed If I Die Tomorrow, the sound will be, you know, not the same, but it'll be a familiar sound on that front. So it's going to be a good mix of exploring newer topics like I have with my newer song, but it's also going to be kind of a throwback sound-wise to where I started out. So we're really, really excited to get that out, hopefully in the next month or month and a half. So.
Well, it sounds really exciting, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, I actually wasn't expecting too much music from you considering touring as well. So how are you managing to kind of juggle going back and forth in the studio versus writing versus touring?
Yeah, it's been a grind. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm not complaining because this is like I'm literally getting to do what I've always wanted to do. But that the last couple months has really been a steep learning curve for me, just with tour starting. And like you said, like honestly, I haven't had much time to write lately just because we've been so go all over the place. But I do have a lot of really good songs I've been sitting on. And I feel like as a, you know, the way the industry has changed these days, there's always so much pressure on younger artists that you got to release all the time. And I think there is truth to that to an extent. But for myself, it's like, you know, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. So it's like when I put something out, I want to be able to make sure I can put my stamp and like, I'm proud of this. And this is good stuff that I feel about putting out into the world. And that was something early on in my career that I didn't take into account as much. Like, I'm still proud of everything I've ever put out, but there's definitely certain things that I've learned from working with people now that I listen back to certain things where I'm like, oh, I wish we could have tweaked that or maybe taken a couple extra weeks before we released to fix that little thing, you know? So I've basically been on the road, and then when I have a couple days off, I've been in the studio just really working hard on Sean Moore is the name of the guy who's producing my next single. He won Producer of the Year at the Ontario Country Music Awards I think it was last year or the year before, and he's lived in Nashville and done all that kind of stuff. So to get to work with him has truly been such a treat, and I've learned so much from him, and we've really been dialed in on my days off, just being able to get my vocals down for this next song. And yeah, it's been a process of learning and taking vocal lessons and learning how to let myself rest so that I don't burn out. But yeah, it's been a constant juggle, like you said, of just back and forth between shows on the road and just also getting new music ready to come out. So
Absolutely. And kind of branching off of the subject
Mhm.
here, how would you say, I mean, of course, like as you grow as an artist, I assume you're kind of constantly kind of building those connections
Yep.
and making those, as you've noted, kind of taking those, growing, of course. So then with that, how would you compare the experience of writing and kind of putting together and recording If I Die Tomorrow versus your most recent single, and then, you know, some of this new stuff you're coming out with? How has that process changed?
Yeah, so there's some things that are definitely the same that I've found work for me that I've hung on to, but then like you said, there's been stuff that changed. So like, for example, like I know with my writing process, like when I first started out, I wrote, like I've been writing songs since I was 15 years old. Like it was just my way of coping with life. But I've really been getting, I think I might have mentioned this last time I was here, but I've really been getting heavy into a lot of co-writing. So that I've really enjoyed actually, because the cool thing about co-writing is that you get to write with different people, so you have different perspectives. And being in the country industry, you all have some similar influences, but you also have some different influences as well. So we're starting to come up with a lot of songs that I can't wait to get out into the world, just because it's like we're bringing in, sometimes it's just me and one other person, but sometimes it'll be like multiple people on one song. So we're bringing in all different people from across Canada. We'll get on these like Zoom calls, and we're bringing just all different kind of flavors and perspectives. Because like you know, I remember we talked about last time with On Your Radio, like, okay, like breakup songs will never get old because everyone goes through breakups. But at the same time, like what's making this song different than all the other hundreds that are out there already? So when we can write one song with 3 different perspectives, that's how we're starting to get some really unique songs that I've actually been playing some of them at shows, that we're really excited to get in the studio, like this new one we've been with, to just get out into the world. And I'm proud of my country roots, and I'll always have that country twang and flavor as a country artist to my songs. But like I said, I grew up listening to U2 and Justin Timberlake and all kinds of non-country guys too. So we're really excited to get different perspectives on kind of age-old topics. That's been a big learning curve for me, just doing lots of co-writing and just learning how to bounce ideas off of people and learn from. There's been a lot of artists that I've gotten to get hooked up with, like Faber Drive and all kinds of guys that have been just real mentors for me and have taken me under their wing on the road and just give me lots of advice and just, walking that line of, things are starting to get bigger now, like bigger crowds, bigger venues, and how do you work that crowd and how do you, connect with your fans. And that's been another thing I've been so thankful for, honestly, too, is just I only have 3 songs out so far, but like the response I've been getting, whether it's people DMing me on Instagram or people coming out to meet and greets or after shows to buy shirts and just want to chat. And I've been honestly really blown away with how much support I've gotten from just 3 songs so far. So it's been a lot of learning in all those areas, but I've been super thankful to get a little team around me that's been helping me a lot. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Finally, I've got to ask this every single time because we're local radio here.
Yeah.
But with where you're at in your career now, especially starting to tour, you're coming back to your roots here in August.
Yeah.
How do you think that kind of growing up in this area, the people in this area, your hometown is affecting who you are as an artist now? Yeah,
for sure. That's a huge one for me. So like I've even been thinking about this, like being back. I'm actually, one of the reasons I'm back right now is my little brother just graduated high school. We had his grad ceremony a couple days ago, and it actually was really like, besides him graduating, like, so I was born in BC, but we moved here when I was 8 years old and grew up here most of my life. And he was 1.5 when we moved here, and it really got me thinking about like, wow, like this place is really who I am. Like whether it's the artist I am on stage or like, my friends and stuff I hang out with when I'm not on the road. It's like growing up in Carlisle and around Weyburn and Estevan and all these places, like it really made me who I am, like in the sense of just my, like being a hard worker, for example. Like that's something that, when I'm out in BC where I live, like a lot of people on my team are often like, man, like you're really busting your butt here. Like this makes our life easier. And those kind of things are things I learned about growing up in a small town where it's like, it doesn't matter whether it's your schoolwork, whether it's, playing sports or, doing what I'm doing now. It's like, you can't expect to get where you want to get in life if you're not working hard. And that's one small thing that I learned and just picked up from growing up out here, and just really trying to treat the people you work with really well too. Like, living in a city now, it's like I'm not out here to bash cities by any means, but like it's definitely a different attitude, like when you grow up in a small town, you grow up with the same people your whole life. And it's like, I just always, whether it's the sound guy, whether it's my band members, whether it's my team with press releases, like we all spend so much time around each other. And I really try to treat them like family, just because, I can't do, as a solo artist, your name might be on, the docket and the ticket and all that stuff. But like, there's no way I'm doing what I'm doing without my team around me. So it's like, I really try to treat them as family. And that's another thing that just growing up in small town Saskatchewan that like you learn from a young age is like, my dad always told me, treat people the way you want to be treated. And what goes around comes around too, right? So it's like, I take a lot of my small town values and just try to apply that everywhere I go. And I'm always so proud to, like, wherever we are on stage, just be like, yeah, I'm from small town Saskatchewan and I'm dang proud of it, So I've definitely taken a lot of those things and plan to take them moving forward into wherever we go. So
love to hear it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to mention? I want to cut you off.
Yeah, no, of course. I know I said this last time I was here, and I'll probably say it 100 times again, but I just want to truly thank everyone out there who's listening. And, every time you stream the songs or request on the radio or buy merch, like it's such a huge help, especially being a newer artist. And, this is what I do. Like, we're on the road, and, that's how we pay our bills at home, just like everyone else. So everyone who listens and comes and buys tickets and stuff, like, thank you so much. And you guys as well. Like, you guys have been supporting me since day one, and it means a lot to have a hometown station playing us all the time. So we're appreciative of all you guys a lot.